This is Optimal Relationships Daily. How I Found the Definition of True Love by Eddie Corbano of lovesagame.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome to ORD, where I, Greg Audino, share different articles with you each day that focus on how to build better relationships in your life. And today's is really great, as author Eddie Corbano offers thoughts on the different types of love and how he has come to discover its truest definition. So sit back and relax as we start the reading now and optimize your life. How I Found the True Definition of Love by Eddie Corbano of lovesagame.com. Have you ever dreamed of the perfect partner? The ultimate romantic love in the perfect relationship? A partner who is your missing part, the one that fulfills you and makes you complete, who's been waiting their whole life just to meet you, and by your bond, a door in heaven opens for you. Welcome to the club. You're not alone. Please listen to the following email from a dear reader. Quote, "Throughout my breakup, there's a concept that's been holding me back. The one. I always believed it, but after this breakup, I have come to question it. I was so sure my ex was the one, and I was so sure she would never hurt me like this. If I ever find love again, how will I know if that person really is the one? I had no doubt in my mind that he was the one. In fact, part of me still believes it. But how can I ever be sure of anything in a relationship if I was so certain last time and so wrong?" End quote. I too suffered from the same disease, believing in an unrealistic picture of love. The concept of the one. Since I was little, I believed in the concept of finding the one. I knew exactly how this whole thing was going to play out. I would accidentally run into a beautiful and charming girl one fine day, or maybe she would knock at my front door, look into her face, and immediately realize that we were meant for each other. She would be the one. The following life together would be one of fulfillment and eternal love, heaven on earth in the arms of a woman. I'm reminded of a story from the ancient Greeks about the origins of true love, which I read a long time ago. There is Aristophanes' Androgyny, Plato's anecdote on the origins of love in mankind. The story recounts the primordial androgyny, mythical creatures with 4 arms, 4 legs, and 2 heads. They epitomized completeness and were able to do almost anything. However, their pride in their abilities angered the gods and caused Zeus to cut them. Separated in 2, they were destined to drift alone, empty and incomplete, longing for their former halves. For Plato, the androgyny is the symbol of wholeness, and the pursuit of it is what love is. Isn't this beautiful? This story always fascinated me. The problem here was that I took the whole thing too much to heart. I was looking for my missing half. Has it worked out that way for me? Do I still believe in it, and does it have to be a bad thing doing so? I'll tell you in a minute. But first I have a question for you. What do you think is the definition of true love? And is there such thing as the one? Not so easy to answer, is it? There is a scientific categorization from a renowned sociologist about the 6 types of love. According to John Lee, there are 6 different types we can distinguish. 6 types of love. Let's list them all. Number 1, the physical love called eros. The focus here is a physical one where looks are more important than anything else. It is based on aesthetic enjoyment. Number 2, the love of the players called ludus. These people tend to change partners frequently and are never attached to anyone. They like the game and the conquest. Number 3, the companionate love, the storge, the warm and affectionate love you feel for a sibling or a best friend. Number 4, the obsessive love, the mania. It's an extreme form of love where the lover possesses the other completely and wants their partner's attention constantly. This is usually driven by low self-esteem. Number 5, the love called pragma. This type of love is realistic. The lovers are looking for a match, referring to personality and values. And number 6, the altruistic love, the agape. Unselfish as it is, it accepts people as who they are and does not try to change them without asking anything in return. By considering the list, you can easily assign what types of love you have felt in the past. Let me take a wild guess. Was it one of the first 4? As you can see, the agape is considered as the ideal love. compassionate, egoless, and self-giving. If you're experiencing this type of love, then you will ask nothing in return from your partner. Think about it. In order to experience this kind of true love, you have to be at peace with the world and yourself. And this is only possible if you love yourself the same unconditional way. If you do not, then you are taking advantage of your partner to upvalue yourself. In other words, if you are not happy from within, then you desperately need your partner to feel valuable and happy. The same thing happened to me. This is not true love. This would be mania, and it often leads to extreme suffering when the partnership ends. My definition of true love. The definition of true love, therefore, if you consider true as real and honest without self-interest, is altruistic giving and unconditional acceptance. But let's be real, how many people in the world can truly say that they are experiencing such pure love? Honestly, this sounds more like a philosophical kind of love to me, which most people will aspire to achieve their whole lives. This is the kind of love Jesus, Buddha, and Gandhi practiced and taught. So keeping that in mind, what is my personal definition, and do I still have the same view of true love I used to have before my breakup happened? In a nutshell, I've developed a realistic, not glorified view of love and relationships, which helped me tremendously to concentrate on what I really want and what I don't. The definition of true love for me is loving yourself and thereby giving love without asking for anything in return. Is there the one? Honestly, I don't think there is such thing as the one. I think there are many. A relationship is good if both are compatible and willing to make an effort to make it work. This takes experience, inner balance, and daily commitment. The concept of the one will not be of use, especially if the relationship should end one day. Conclusion. Abandon a glorified, unrealistic view of true love and the one. The takeaway message from this article, therefore, is the following. Abandon a glorified, unrealistic view of true love and the one, which love songs, poems, and chick flicks are propagating. Especially when you suffer from a breakup or divorce, you need a realistic view of your former relationship and a down-to-earth outlook towards future ones. The mindset that true love is something that starts within you and that is something on which both have to work at constantly will help you to find the kind of relationship you're looking for. This has helped me to find a fulfilling relationship where both partners can thrive without restraining each other. Now, I'm not saying that love isn't important in a relationship. It is. But we must constantly be aware of what our motives are. Is it selfish or unselfish? Only by knowing that can we aspire to the highest, purest form of true love. You just listened to the post titled, How I Found the Definition of True Love by Eddie Corbano of lovesagame.com, and stick around for my comments coming up in just a sec. And thank you to Eddie for this one. Really cool to hear him talk about the 6 different types of love, isn't it? It's definitely an interesting tool for trying to better understand the type of love we give and receive. But I do believe that several types of love can coexist towards one person, and that being patient and observant of that can help us interpret love even better. We'd also be wise to consider the pros and cons of each type of love before assigning them some place on the scale between good and bad. You know, agape, for example, is presented as a really selfless and therefore true love. It's very easy to get enchanted by that. But sometimes extraordinarily selfless love actually shows up when the love for ourselves is missing. Asking nothing of our partner, as Eddie put it, can often be the case for those who don't feel as though they deserve the privilege of asking for anything. So, whatever type of love you're hoping to get a better grasp of, be sure to also think about where it might be coming from and how it might have both its benefits and its drawbacks. That'll do it for today, though, everyone. Thank you so much, as always, for being here and listening intently. I hope this article taught you something, and of course, I hope you will come back tomorrow to keep learning with us. That's where your optimal life awaits.